DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is about a year old now, so it's kind of weird that we're seeing videos of this still. Well, it's because it's freaking awesome. And what makes this one even more awesome is it's the Costco bundle. Let's dive into that. So for the majority of this video and the review, I did as much as I can to record on device, the actual thing. Right now what you're hearing is the mic built in to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Now for some comparison, and this is the audio from the DJI Mic 2. I really like these mics. These are awesome. Also got this small rig microphone holder for interviews and stuff, but I think it's pretty cool this way too. So I am a snob for audio. So though the mic is pretty good just by itself on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, audio on this is better. So we're going to stick with this one. My wife made something cool really quick. I had to show it. It is a dice box for D&D. She makes it look like a little canyon. I'm going to put a castle in it. That's pretty cool. Just had to show that real quick. Back to our public transmission. When it comes to camera gear at Costco, unfortunately, it is not as popular a category at Costco as it used to be. When I first started at Costco back in 2019, we had, I want to say, 2 or 3 DSLRs and mirrorless, some Canons, big bundles. They did not sell super well, and about a year after I was there, they went the way of the world. So since then, haven't really gotten anything else. However, one thing that has been consistent is having some kind of action camera. We've had the GoPros pretty much since generation 9 or 8, since I've been there, and I'm pretty sure we carried them before I started working at Costco. Then, about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, we started carrying bundles like this with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 as well as Insta360. The X4 cameras. Also been carrying drones and stuff, so it's common to see bundles like this, but it's cool that we're finally seeing a bundle like this. Oh man, is it a bundle? So the price of this one goes for $499.99 US, and in this bundle you get, 64 gigabyte Kingston. Right, Kingston. It's okay. I mean, 170 megabytes, not too bad. It's probably plenty for this. If you wanted it for like a DSLR mirrorless, probably want something a little faster. It's also only 64 gigs. You also get the mini tripod and then the battery handle. It's the extended battery, so it's a little taller. It's currently on the unit right now. I can't show you. And then obviously you get the cell unit. So the actual unit. There's the stuff at the bottom. If you couldn't see it. If you were to try and build this bundle yourself, you're looking at about $622, according to DJI's website prices. The base Pocket 3 goes for $519, and then the battery extension is $70. This is $17, and then you can get $15 for the 65 gig card. So you're saving $120 going with this bundle. That's kind of crazy. Even just the Pocket 3 alone, you're looking at, $450 for maybe a very, very good condition used or brand new on their website for $520. So that's a pretty good deal. One cool thing that I need to mention with camera bundles, especially the GoPros, stuff like that, usually Costco is super behind the generation. So in the past, with previous years, this year is the only one that's different. I'll explain why. We would be almost 8 to 10 months behind in generations for bundles for the GoPros. The 10 would come out and we had maybe just gotten the 9. Same with the 11s. And then we never even got the 12s. They just skipped the 12 entirely and jumped right into the 13s. However, we did get the 13s on time. Literally the week they came out, which was like a huge shock to me. With the Insta360 X3s, the X4 360 camera, it's the X3, right? And this Osmo Pocket 3, they're actually current generations. I wouldn't be surprised if Costco starts getting on the ball with that, which is good. Shows it means the buyers are doing their job, which is nice. Okay, let's get into the specs, shall we? All right, so in total, this thing weighs about 180 grams, which will be more if you were to put this whole bundle together with the battery extension as well as a mini tripod that goes with it. It has a 2-inch OLED touchscreen, which is a decent resolution for the size. It's also 700 nits, so it's pretty bright, even just looking at it right now. It's pretty nice and bright. It can go up to 512 gigs of storage with the micro SD card. And now to get to the nitty-gritty juicy. It has a wonderful 1-inch CMOS sensor that has awesome low light capacity. It's roughly a 20 millimeter lens equivalent with an aperture of f2.0. Focus range is pretty solid at 0.2 millimeters. So that's pretty cool. ISO can go pretty decent. It's down to 50 up to 6400, which is a pretty good range for most cameras. And that's across all of its film types and categories, such as slow motion, low light, photo, and video. It doesn't really have too much zoom. It's all going to be digital, so keep that in mind if you ever want to do stuff like that. But one other awesome thing that makes the Pocket 3 so freaking awesome is its gimbal. It is super stabilized. I'm going to cut some footage to kind of show off this image quality compared to my phone, the S24 Ultra, Samsung, as well as my mirrorless Lumix S5 Mark II X. Let's take a look at that image really quick. Okay, so as you can tell, I've got on the left Samsung 24 Ultra, and on the right, the Osmo Pocket 3. With the overall brightness of the image, it is greater on the Samsung S24 Ultra, but the overall dynamic range, I think, is better on the Osmo Pocket 3. The colors seem to be far more vibrant in accuracy, whereas maybe a bit more vivid and overblown in some cases on the 24 Ultra. Overall, you're getting a better image quality on the Pocket 3 as opposed to the phone camera, which is pretty clear with that 1-inch sensor. It's really shining here. As a comparison, here is my Lumix S5 Mark II X. Obviously, the stabilization isn't going to be as good on that compared to something with a gimbal like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, but overall image quality is going to be far greater. It's a full frame camera, so you're going to be getting far better image quality out of it than something like this, but you can still see those colors shine really well here. And here we have both the DJI Pocket 3 as well as the S24 Ultra in a good low light situation going down into my basement where my office is. And as you can see, the Pocket 3 does a really good job of retaining a good chunk of the overall light conditions, whereas the S24 struggles a little bit. But as you can tell, they do a pretty decent job at looking at the reintroduction of light and adjusting to there accordingly. Now with the Lumix, it's a bit understandable why something like this would happen, but it gets pretty dark and it's pretty difficult to see here, where things look a little bit hard to see, and in some cases you can't see at all. However, there is zero noise like you were seeing on both the S24 and the DJI Pocket 3. So that's something to consider, that the noise factor will be a big deal when dealing with cameras. So ultimately, who is this camera for? Well, I mean, anyone who has our Costco membership, but also wants to buy some pretty awesome camera gear, especially those that have the hankering and the desire to have really awesome handheld vlog footage. I mean, the stabilization with the gimbal is going to be amazing. And for people who are looking for really good value, I mean, you can't beat the Costco bundle. Like, holy crap, 122 bucks. I mean, put that towards, I know, Tucano's a really yummy meal or something. That convenience of having something like this with a 1-inch sensor in a pocket is awesome. I mean, your phone will never beat that, no matter what they do, unless they make the camera huge with a 1-inch sensor. This is also a great option for those looking into YouTube or any kind of semi-pro hobbyist level stuff, basic level client work that are willing to pay for something that's more handheld action-y. This is awesome. Really solid image quality on this. So if you're out there looking for a new camera that would be easy for you to pocket as well as create the content you want, you really need to take a look at this bundle. And they are very popular and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So take a look. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention, during Black Friday, this was at $3.99, $100 off. No, I'm not kidding. $3.99. Keep out an eye for that. All right, hey guys, thank you so much for sticking through this slog. Get it? Slog as slog. My film friends will think that's cool. Anyway, thank you. Thank you guys for thank you guys for sticking around for this slog of information. Hopefully you guys found it interesting and found out that Costco has some pretty good stuff. So stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you. Like and subscribe.